And so it is tax time, and that means we got to start doing some write-offs. Now, before I go over the list of write-offs that you should be deducting for your income tax, I will say this. I will not be making a video about how to file your taxes as a gig worker. Why? Well, not because I don't want to help you lovelies out, but it's because if I make one wrong step in even my own income tax, because yes, I do file my own income taxes, but if I make one wrong step and I'm encouraging you to do the same, that's going to have a huge domino effect and I'm to blame, and I won't put that guilty conscience on my back. Now, I will say this, I do my own income taxes. Why? Because have you ever paid $200 to a company for a certified accountant and they screw up your income taxes and you have to pay money back to the government because of their mistake? I have. It's not fun. So after doing income taxes through a company for about 6 years and paying about $200 to get that crap done, I took it into my hands to do my own income taxes, and I have been doing them for about the last 4 or 5 years. And I will say this, for those that want to know, I use TurboTax. So you can use any one of those documents or applications, I guess you want to call it, to file your taxes. And this video is for write-offs for regardless if you go to an accountant or a tax advisor, or if you're doing your own taxes, it can benefit you. There is one issue that I do have with paying tax advisors. I have found in all my years, not one single tax advisor gives me a list of what I can use as write-offs. So I'm happy to utilize my platform to give you a list of what you can write off as a gig worker. And I'm telling you now, if you don't do these things, you will pay a lot on your income tax. Start doing these things now. We are early in 2023 so that you don't have to pay for it later. So the first thing on the docket that you can claim when it comes to your taxes, and it's the first one we all talk about, is the gas or the miles or kilometers, whichever one you want to focus in, but focus on that. What I actually do, and I have it here, is I keep these little papers from the gas receipts. So I go to the pump, I fill up, and I always ask for the receipts. Why? Because what I do with those later on, first of all, every single one of them are kept for the year. I know it's annoying and a pain in the ass to do, but thank me later when I give you the numbers of what happened with mine. First, I keep them, and then I make a spreadsheet. And the spreadsheet is so that I can calculate it for myself, but as well, I can send it to the government, but if they also need it, I have the original papers as well. Now, the reason why you really want to focus in on gas and kilometers is you truly don't know how much it adds up until you see it on a spreadsheet. I did my own through Microsoft Word Office, and I did it through Microsoft's website. And by the end of it, I tallied up how much gas I spent in 2022 doing gig work. And I can't even say I basically did gig work full-time, because I didn't. I did also work for a company. Long story short, $3,100 out on gas. Question? How much did I make on just Uber alone? We're not going to talk Instacart, DoorDash, all that, but just Uber alone. The highest I made was $5,000 for the year. That's rounding it. It was actually $4,500. So $4,500 to $5,000 that I made in earnings, but I forfeited up $3,100. If I'm not going to claim that back, I'm just going to say that I would probably feel like an idiot for not doing so, knowing that when you declare your taxes, if I just turn around and say, here, government, I made $4,500, the government's going to turn around and say, okay, you pocketed that money, so you're going to owe us now in taxes. Versus the reality of when you start adding the deductions, including gas, you're going to get a lot more money back. And when you keep these receipts and you do something, for example, like TurboTax, there's a slot in the box where you can deduct gas. Put in the total amount that you have used for that year, and on TurboTax's platform, they'll utilize a percentage of that to deduct from it. I don't even have to do the math on it. Pretty simple and self-explanatory. I mean, I'm gonna say it, my brother did not keep his gas stubs, and he made $5,000 on Uber. And guess what? He was not a happy camper with the end results, and so it made it to the top of the list, and it's definitely something I want to speak about. Let's go into number 2 that you can declare when it comes to tax season as a gig worker. See, the thing is that we're not supposed to pay money out of pocket to work for companies. And even though we're independent contractors, Uber Eats, DoorDash, Instacart, whatever it may be, they're companies. So if I'm paying for delivery bags because they want the food hot and ready, that's fine, but I'm keeping my receipts and I'm claiming it later. The best part, you're supporting me as a creator and you went on Amazon and you bought a bag from my links. Great, fantastic, thank you. Keep your receipt from Amazon and go claim that back from the government. You're not supposed to be putting money out of pocket just to make these companies happy. And if they're requiring us to take a picture, for example, to verify our bags, sweetheart, I'll take a picture, but I'm going to get that money back afterwards. Bags make it to number 2 on the list. I do have a list down here to look at because it makes life easier. Number 3, obviously, car maintenance. If I'm doing an oil change, if I'm changing the tires on my car, if my suspension broke, and you know that's going to cost a lot of money, well, why wouldn't I keep those receipts? Because I'm required to utilize my car to do gig work, which means I'm required to do the upkeep on my car, which means one more requirement, the government's required to pay that money back after we've put that money out. Regardless if you call yourself self-employed and you want to do everything yourself, that's fine. Do it yourself, pay for it up front, whatever it may be, but don't let that money slip away. Claim for your car maintenance and keep those receipts. The next one is a more fun one, and I don't actually think this one's talked about a lot. It's the accessories we utilize for gig work, and I realize I'm doing black on black. There we go. I don't know if that's any better. Anyways, this is my cell phone holder, and it goes normally here, but when I'm recording a video, it gets in the way. Then I got something like my cell phone charger plugged into the car at all times because you need it as a gig worker. If you think you can't claim those back, think again, because you absolutely can. There is hands-free policy, so you are not supposed to be driving with your phone like this doing a delivery. You have to dock it to something on your car. You need to be charging your phone because if anybody goes to a 2 or 3 hour session with Uber Eats, my phone gets hot and it nearly dies, so I need a charger at all times. Claim back your accessories. You're entitled to it, you're allowed to do it, and it's required to do this job, so it's required to claim back. And talking about cell phone accessories, the cell phone bill. A lot of people do not claim their cell phone bill, and it's super easy. Print off your statements from your company per month, keep them for 12 months and file them with your taxes, because the best part is that you have to use your cell phone, so you have to get money back. We have to use it for phone calls, texting, and literally for the internet. So if you're not claiming back on your cell phone bill, as much as some people pay, I've heard like $140, $200 for their cell phone bills, do not be giving that all back just to the companies. Do not just be giving that out of your pocket. Claim it back because you deserve it back. We got 2 more here, lovelies. Second to last is emergency kits. So I've had one in my car for like 7 or 8 years, and I list them on my Amazon links because it's essential. I mean, it really, really is. I've needed a shovel for being snowed in because I'm in Montreal, Quebec. You need a flashlight, you need heated gloves, whatever it may be, you can claim it. It's essential to have those things. I need to put cones around my car in the middle of the night if something was to happen and I'm on the side of the road. If you don't have an emergency kit, first of all, go get one. Go get one from my Amazon links and then claim it back from the government afterwards because you deserve that money back in your pocket because it's required as a gig worker. And the last one, and I'm going to shove my paper here. The last one is I'm in Montreal, Quebec, and it is winter. And if you have to go out of your house and you don't have the proper jacket, I'm not saying going on a shopping spree, but if you need winter boots and a jacket because it's winter and that's required for your job because you don't want to get hypothermia, you can declare that back on your income taxes. It's the same thing for a waitress. If a waitress has to go into a restaurant and the restaurant's not supplying the kitchen shoes and she or he has to pay for them, they get to declare it back because it's required by the job, but we're not supposed to pay to work for these companies. Anybody that's running a business, if they're renting out office space, for example, they're going to declare that office space afterwards in their income tax because they need that space for the employees. It is amazing how much we can write off when it comes to income tax. And if you have something that you write off in income tax and you haven't heard it in my list, go ahead and comment on that below in the comment box. I think it's very useful if we share ideas and ping off of one another when it comes to income tax time of things that you can declare. I will say this, keep note, you cannot declare if you decide to do takeout food or what may be, because eating is essential in your life, but it's not something required for gig work. Just a top-up note. So I hope that helps you when it comes to write-offs for income tax time, and I'll catch you lovelies in the next video.